afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 124 of the Driftless Knitting podcast. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Driftless Knitter. And you can also find some of my patterns up at driftlessknitting.com as well as on ravelry.com. And Payhip, but Payhip, it's really hard to find, like search for specific designers and patterns. So unless they're like direct linked, I have trouble directing people there for my patterns, but a lot of them are there as well. I am coming to you from my home at about 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, August 4th. Now, I am in a different location. It's a long story. I will go into it a little bit here at the beginning. If you are just looking for knitting content, skip ahead a few minutes. But yeah, basically I am home during the afternoon because almost this entire week I have been home, either working from home or home with my almost 3-year-old son, taking care of him because my husband Seaver had tested positive for COVID on Monday. So he started getting symptoms on Sunday. We didn't really think too much of it because, once in a while you get a scratchy throat and it's nothing. But by Monday morning, it was obvious it was something more. He worked from home for a bit that day, and then by the afternoon, he said that he was so exhausted, he couldn't stay awake, like literally couldn't stay awake anymore. And he napped on Sunday too, which he does like a good nap, don't get me wrong, but he had been gone Friday and Saturday, and so it was a little more unusual that he would choose to take like a couple hour nap on Sunday when we hadn't seen him for a while. So that was kind of maybe the first clue. He was saying that like he couldn't keep his eyes open, and I was like, oh well, it's probably just because you were traveling and tired and everything. And then Monday he said he slept for like 4 hours in the afternoon, and then Monday evening he tested positive. So we kept Hudson home on Tuesday so that we could monitor our symptoms, and then he and I are still negative. We are still isolating from Seaver and taking all the precautions we can while living in the same home. I am sleeping out on the pull-out couch in our living room, which thankfully is relatively comfortable because I am 8.5 months pregnant. So we are, living pretty much separately right now, which stinks, but we have to protect each other, protect ourselves. So Hudson has been going to daycare because he has been symptom-free and negative. That, of course, if he starts showing any symptoms, I will keep him home, but I am still working from home. So doing that with a almost 3-year-old is pretty impossible. I tried on Tuesday for a little while, and I did not get any work done until he went to bed at like 8 o'clock. And then I was able to sit at my computer for a couple hours. So that's not ideal. So we are able to have him in daycare. He goes to a small daycare. They're aware of the situation, and we're all, being very careful. But yeah, I've been working from home and then getting some stuff done in the baby's room, which has been really nice, getting some organization done, getting some housework done while Hudson is gone, which is nice. Usually I'm cramming housework and cooking and doing all that stuff like in the 4 hours between when I get home from work and when I am too tired to move at like 9 o'clock. So to be able to kind of get dinner prepped and, have a clean dishwasher and empty that out and get some things made and get laundry done, all, you know, in between working, has been really nice actually. But of course it's not an ideal situation at all. So we can't wait until we can interact again with Seaver. We miss him. I know he misses us. He's getting bored. And he did some yard work the other day and went downstairs for a while masked. You know, whenever he's out in the general house, he's masked. And even downstairs he put a mask on and he did some organizing down there. Just little projects that he can do kind of separated from us. And yeah, so we're trying to make it work, but that's our situation right now. I am not sure if I'm going back to work in person. Depends on when the baby comes. I am 2.5 weeks away from my due date. And, you know, if I end up testing positive and get sick, that's another at least a week where I will have to be home. And then after that, I was only planning on working for the next 2 weeks. So my last day of work was going to be August 18th. But yeah, we're just gonna keep figuring it out as we go. Our team at Knit Circus, I work for Knit Circus Yarns. If any of you are familiar or watching for the first time, we are a team of 4 people, and most of what we do is either custom, so dye to order things like clubs and project kits and things like that have a deadline, or we do wholesale for other yarn shops, which also has a deadline. So we don't want to, my boss does not want more than one of us to be gone at a time, because that will really, really negatively affect our production and what we're able to do and get out to our customers. So as much as I would love to go back, even, you know, because I'm testing negative, she wants to be very, very cautious because I'm already going to be gone for 2 months on maternity leave. So if I'm gone for that, plus COVID goes around the studio and everyone gets sick, that's gonna be real bad. So she's being extra cautious, which I totally understand. And I'm doing everything I can here at home to help out. And, you know, I'm able to write the newsletters. I'm able to get to do a lot of, I take like the orders and I put them into our spreadsheet, and so that she can make the dye schedules. And, you know, there's things like that I can do, make listings and all that stuff. So yeah, so we're making it work. Sorry, I'm just noticing that like my shirt is really off-centered. Not that it matters, but it was bothering me. Okay, so that's pretty much life stuff right now. Getting ready for baby, but then also dealing with the COVID thing. Yeah. Super fun. I'm just glad I haven't gotten it. It's kind of a miracle because I did like sleep next to Seaver on Sunday night, and like we actually did family photos Sunday morning. So the fact that Hudson and I are not sick is a miracle, but thank goodness. I'm just hoping it stays that way. Yeah, we're just gonna keep testing, keep our distance until symptoms are gone and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. You did not come here to listen to me yammer. Is that a phrase? Yammer on? Why does that sound weird coming out of my mouth? Anyway, to go on and on about, yeah, COVID. But that's just a big part of why I am podcasting today, because I do have some extra time this afternoon before Hudson comes home. And I thought I would record quick to show you what I've been working on, what I've finished, and just touch base, because really we don't know when the baby's coming. So I might not be able to podcast again for a while. And I'm kind of like thrilled that I can podcast this soon after my last episode went up. I think it's only been a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe not even a month, which is amazing. So yeah, had to take this opportunity. Okay, let's get into some crafting and some knitting. I am going to show you a work in progress. I guess I only have one, kind of, and a finished object. There's not a whole lot of content today. I have not really ordered or bought anything, which is fantastic for me. I'm really trying to work with what I have. I do have some things coming later on in the year for like Christmas. Those have been my big purchases. I did buy an advent, a yarn advent, and then I did end up buying the 4 Sundays of Advent from a homespun house from Molly, because I had birthday money and I was told I was not allowed to spend it on anything for like anyone else. So not the baby, not Hudson. It had to be something for me. And that's something I was like, I love having lots of stuff to look forward to for the Advent season. I love Christmas. I love Advent. It's my favorite time of the year. I love doing Vlogmas and showing you guys what I'm crafting and making and opening up. So the more of that, the better, in my opinion. And I wish I could buy them all. There's so many fun ones out there right now, like boxes and autumn theme. Oh, I can't wait for fall. I can't wait for autumn. I'm just like craving it right now. It might be because it's really hot out and I'm really pregnant, but I just want it to be like 65 degrees and sunny and like go to a pumpkin patch. Oh, it sounds so nice. But yeah, so I wish I could order all of these boxes and all of these festive things, but I did get that one for a birthday gift for myself. I'm very excited about that. So I have ordered a couple things, but they're not coming for a while. The only other purchases I've made have gone towards the project I'm currently working on, which I'll show you. And yeah, that's been pretty much it. So let's get started and I will just, fill you in as we go. The first thing I'm gonna show you, I was working on the last time I podcasted and I finished it. So this cute sweater here is the So Faded Pint Size by Andrea Mowry. And I knit this using a Legacy Fiber Arts mystery like bundle, kind of. They were 50-gram skeins that were put together as part of the moving sale for Sue. She is moving up to Vermont to be near her daughter Chelsea, and it's Sue and Chelsea who run the business. So yeah, so she was doing a sale on all of their products and putting together sets, like 3 skein sets, and I snagged one. I believe I talked about this last time, but I sent them an email pretty quickly after ordering this and asked if they could maybe find a blue or a green to throw in, because I wanted to knit something for, you know, the new baby that's coming. We are having another boy, so I knew that at the time. And yeah, they were so sweet, put together not only 1 but 3 that were gonna work, and they actually, like, I think work really well together. I'm super excited about this. I decided right away that I was gonna fade them in something, and the So Faded Pint Size was the perfect project. These are fingering weight skeins. I think it's a 75-25 merino nylon. They are super wash, so I'll be able to, if I wanted to, put this in the washing machine. I still will probably soak it. I did that with Hudson as well. I don't know how it'll be with having 2 little ones, if I'll have time for like soaking and laying things out to dry, but if I need to throw it in the washing machine, I can. And yeah, they don't have any colorway names. They were just like either prototypes or leftovers from something. I'm not really sure, but just kind of random skeins. I'm pretty sure last time I showed you I just had the body done, but this is how the sleeves turned out. And the original pattern calls for 5 colorways to be faded together, and I only had 3. So I modified the measurements of how much like you knit per color, and I got carried away with the first 2 and didn't have very much room at the bottom to knit this blue, but I think it's kind of sweet just how that's like the ribbing at the bottom there. It's like a nice border. And this I think is like the 12-month size. So hopefully he will be able to fit in it this winter. I'm assuming so. Hudson fit into 12-month clothes when he was between like 6 and 12 months, like around the 7-8 month range. He wasn't a huge baby. I mean, he was chunky, but he wasn't like, you know, off the charts. He was kind of in the 80 percentile for a lot of his like babyhood, I guess. And yeah, he was probably wearing 12-month clothes around like 7 months or so, I would say. So I'm thinking that a 12-month sweater will fit this baby, at least in late winter. And if not, I can roll up the sleeves and it'll be fine. At least I can get some use out of it. So yeah, that is super exciting to have that done. I'm also I knit this as part of the Legacy Fiber Arts Knit Your Stash MAL, which is a make along. That's like the hashtag. So it's a knit along, make along to use up your Legacy Fiber Arts stash. I don't have a huge Legacy Fiber Art stash, but I did a pair of socks. You would have seen that probably last time. With a skein I'd had forever, my first ever Legacy Fiber Art skein, and the only one in my stash for a very long time. And then last Christmas I got their for like Sundays of Advent box, so I opened up micro sock sets. So I have 4 of those that are in my stash, and then I ended up ordering like another sock set and then this. So yeah, not a whole lot of yarn in that like sort of category, but it's still kind of fun to follow along, knit a couple projects. I want to do maybe a lightweight hat for the baby in one of those colors because I have quite a bit left of all of the colors, especially the blue. So I might knit a few like little projects for him, maybe some baby socks, some booties, I don't know, a hat. I know that I'm running out of time, but we're not thinking about that. We're just gonna keep plugging away. Speaking of running out of time and the baby, I am also knitting. This is my current work in progress, and really the only thing I have been working on since that sweater was cast off. And okay, I think that's all I need from in there. So this is I'm pretty sure it's called the 4 Points baby blanket from Pearl Soho. They have 3 different versions of this blanket. They have the original fingering weight version, they have a worsted weight version, and then they have a super bulky version. I am doing the worsted weight version. And basically you just they give you like a cast on and a number, and you just follow the directions to the fingering weight version, but with that number of stitches. It's a fairly simple blanket, but it's been so much fun to do. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I'm getting close to being done. I'm very excited. Last night I finished the 3rd section. So it's kind of odd to show it to you, but I'll show it to you in the order of sections that I knit. So this is being done with Knit Circus Yarns Ringmaster worsted weight, which is 100% superwash merino. I absolutely love this yarn. It is so soft and squishy. It's so warm. I have several sweaters knit out of it, and I just absolutely love it. I have worked with it in mittens and baby sweaters and my own sweaters, hats, all sorts of projects, and I just absolutely love it. So I chose 4 different colors, of course, 4 points. And this is the first one. You can kind of see the second one there too. This one right here is called the Dark Hedges, and this was our Irish American Heritage Club, also known as the St. Patrick's Club, but we want to be respectful as well. So this was our colorway for this year, and it's kind of getting it. My camera doesn't really know what to do with it. I think blues and greens are hard for cameras. But yes, this is the Dark Hedges. It's got some really fun speckles, and this is the one I started out with. And for those of you who have watched like all of my videos, you know that we are doing a like forest theme for Hudson is my older son, for our new baby. And so I really wanted to do kind of like an earthy, foresty themed blanket as well. So I really love this speckle. And then the second one, I cast on this edge, you knit and you decrease until you get to this point. Then you pick up along this side and you knit this triangle. So this one is one of my absolute favorite colorways that Knit Circus dyes. This is called Sage Advice. You have seen this many times. I have knit a sweater in this. I've knit his little beloved bonnet in this colorway. I feel like I've knit with this for something else. Oh, my Cabin in the Woods hat that I designed was knit with this one. I love this colorway. And yeah, I think I actually knit another baby sweater for someone else in this color, but I can't remember. So that was my second one. I love how these two look together. The Dark Hedges kind of has some of that light green in it as well, and they play off each other really nice. And then we move on to, so same thing, you knit and you decrease until you get to this point, and then you pick up again along this edge and you knit the third triangle. Now this one is different than the other 3. I'll show you my fourth color. I wanted a neutral in there as well, and I really liked that this one is our Winging It colorway, which is based on barn owls. It was part of our Paws and Claws club, I believe, like more than a year ago. But it's supposed to be the colors of barn owls, and we have, so maybe I'll show you after I'm done filming, but on this wall here, did I say I'm in the baby's room? Maybe I didn't. But the crib is right next to me, and on this wall behind the crib we have a decal that 2 of my best friends helped me put up. Well, they actually put up the entire thing. I did not help. I sat on my butt and organized baby clothes while they put it up. But they put it up for me, and it has several owls kind of perched on the tree and one of them flying. So I liked that it was kind of incorporating that theme. It was like a foresty theme in itself, kind of. And I liked having a neutral. I liked having another speckle. So I'll have like the 2, okay, I'm gonna cover my face for a minute, sorry. So I'll have like the 2 speckle colorways kind of touching each other in the center there, opposite each other. And I liked that the Dark Hedges has some like orangey brown speckles in it, and I thought that played well with the Winging It colorway. Okay, this is gonna be pretty large. Yeah, look at that. It like covers me. Anyway, it's so hard to show things like this. So obviously there's a space right here, hello, for the 4th color to go into, and that colorway is this really beautiful dark green. So this is called Stay Out of the Forest. Again, perfect. Although we're not staying out of the forest, we are running straight into the forest. But this beautiful green goes so well. So yeah, like this is kind of the odd one out, but I don't know, I still like it. It's still just earthy and lovely to me. So yeah, that green will go in between. What'll go in between? These, so it'll go next to the dark hedges and next to Winging It in that triangle thing there. Okay, I'm done trying to hold this up because this is such a strange shaped thing when you've got like triangles coming off, and yeah. But I finished the third triangle last night, and today, sometime today, tonight, I will, probably tonight after Hudson goes to bed, because I'm not going to be able to sit there and pick up I don't know how many stitches along the edge. I also have to read the directions because this one is different than any of the others because it has to be attached on two sides. So yeah, I have to read some directions. I'm not sure if I'm going to be seaming or I'm going to be attaching as I go. We shall see. This is a free pattern, by the way, so if you're interested in any of the 4 points baby blankets, go to Ravelry and type that in, or you can go to pearlsoho.com and type it in as well, and you should be able to find them there. So that's what I've been working on for the most part. I did bring in my cozy memory blanket because I didn't show it to you last time. I actually did a couple squares in the last several months, and I didn't show it last time, and then I actually did one more square like in between my previous episode and this one. So let's put that down. I've got all of my, I've added some scraps to my bag, which is always kind of fun. I have plenty of scraps, but to know that you're set for a while, it's always good. Okay, so I added onto the length of the blanket, and I can't remember which ones were here the last time I showed it to you, if I had this one done or if I didn't. I don't think I did. This is a Bumblebee Acres yarn in the Barton Cottage. I knew it was a Jane Austen theme. This is the Barton Cottage speckle colorway. I did a pair of socks out of this. This right here is, yes, this right here is Midnight Moon. It's a Knit Circus colorway, and I did one of my Alaska hats with this as the main like brim color and the trees in the Alaska hat. I talked about the Alaska hats last time. I've knit 2 of them, like since, that one was recorded, like since the previous one. Words, I'm not making sense, but this spring and summer I've knit 2 Alaska hats, but I did not show them in the last episode because they are samples for Knit Circus and they were at the studio, and yeah. So this was one of the colorways that went into one of those. And then I added this guy. This is a colorway, I believe it's called Road Trip. I knit a pair of socks out of this colorway when Steve and I were on our vacation in 2019 to Colorado. I do have a travel vlog up about that trip if you're interested. Some very beautiful mountain views, some very early mornings of us getting up and hiking. It was a really good, fun vacation, and I knit a pair of socks using that colorway. I am blanking on the dyer, but yeah, I might have a Ravelry page. I probably have a Ravelry page for this one because that was before I dropped the ball on Ravelry almost completely. I don't know the last time I've updated. I go on it every so often and look at my projects, and there's still, I think I updated some that were like, still said I was working on them and I'd finished them like a year ago, and so I like updated them to say I completed them, but other than that I haven't really done anything with my Ravelry project pages, but oh well. So yeah, I think it's only been those 3 squares that I've knit since showing you, but I can't be sure. So I'll just hold it up kind of like this and you can look. Ooh, how pretty. I love, 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 love working on this. I want to work on it every time I see it or think about it, and I have to resist the urge most of the time because I have other more pressing things to work on. But one of these days I'm just gonna add a ton of squares and get through a lot of my scraps, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, it's not too like tall yet, I guess, but it's very long. Oof, geez. So that's fun. Again, it's really hard to show these things. So yeah, love, love, love this. I'm gonna just, oh, I'll fold that up later. Actually, that's pretty good. Just shove it back in my bag. All right, and the last thing, wow, this is gonna be a short episode. The last thing I have to show you is my plans for my next cast on. I think I'm going to end up casting this on before the baby blanket is done and doing a little bit of work on it, because my plan for this is to put it in my hospital bag and take it with me to the hospital. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're not thinking this, but I most likely will not have any time to knit. I know that. I experienced that with Hudson. I brought knitting with me. And I think I tried knitting once. I was like, oh, I'm gonna relax and I'm gonna grab my knitting while the baby's sleeping and while Seaver naps. And then either Hudson woke up or I realized, what am I doing? I should be sleeping because I just had a baby and a 36-hour labor. So yeah. I know most likely I will not touch this project, but you always have to have something, right? I have to have something that's ready to go in the right point for me to pick it up and work on it. So my plan is to bring this beautiful cake of yarn with me. Well, I'm gonna like cast on, and I'm gonna start a fingering weight baby sweater. I'm not sure which one. It might be the flax light, but I kind of want to do something different. So I have to look and see if there's like an easy stockinette pullover or something with just a very, very simple texture to it that I want to do. This colorway was part of a club that I ordered. Like I ordered all of the editions of the club. It was from Molly of a Homespun House, and it was her Little House yarn club. So started out, of course, with Little House in the Big Woods, and this is Little House on the Prairie. So I knit Hudson a sweater before he was born out of Little House in the Big Woods. It was one of the cast-ons I did before we knew if we were having a boy or a girl, because it's very gender neutral. It's like a bright green with like some really fun speckles on it. And I also decided before we knew if we were having a boy or a girl that I was gonna knit this colorway up, because I also think this is very gender neutral. Some green and red, a little bit of blue in there. And there is a touch of like hot pink, but I think that's pretty fun. And I thought it would be kind of fitting to knit our second baby a sweater out of the yarn based on the second book in the series. I still have the sweater I knit Hudson, and that one will be, I'm so excited to put that on my next kid because I loved that sweater and it was so soft and it fit him so well, and oh, it was beautiful. So can't wait to get more use out of that one, and then also have another one that I can put the baby in. I have a few like DK and worsted weight sweaters, but I don't have as many fingering weight sweaters this time around. I mean, with Hudson, I really only had, I'm trying to think, I had 2. I wonder where those are. I haven't found those yet. I have to dig a little bit more. I mean, I have time before winter comes, but I have 2 fingering weight sweaters that I knit him, and I found a few of Hudson's other like old hand knits that I've like set aside, that I've washed and set aside, but those are 2 sweaters that I haven't unearthed yet, so I gotta go find those. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I think if I get it to a point where I can just knit the body or something while I am in the hospital, if I do have some downtime, or if we have an unexpected something come up and I need to work on something, this is gonna be what I pack in my bag. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And right on cue, the baby just stretched like all the way across my belly. He's like pushing his feet out. My belly looks awfully lopsided right now, but you know, that's gonna happen. Yeah, so lots of baby talk. Thank you for humoring me. I can't foresee, you know, a time in the near future where I will stop knitting baby things, although I do want to put in a few more knits for myself. For Hudson, I have some yarn to do matching sweaters for the 2 boys, and hope maybe that'll get done by Christmas. I don't know. And in the meantime, yeah, we're just gonna hang tight and see what happens, play everything by ear. You know, with a baby coming, that's really all you can do. Be flexible and just make it work. We're gonna make it work. So thank you all for watching. I know today there was a little less content than normal, but hopefully you enjoyed seeing what I'm working on, and I'd love to see what you're working on. I'd love to see and hear what you're up to. So if you want to drop a comment down below, I would love that. If you want to find me on Instagram and see what I'm posting, I don't post as much on my grid right now. I would say maybe 1 or 2 posts a week, but I do post to my stories fairly often, so you can kind of keep track of what I'm doing. The posts to my stories are a little bit more casual than what I choose to put on my grid. I mean, sometimes I just put random stuff on my grid, whatever life is, you know, throwing at us or whatever we're doing. But the day-to-day stuff, the more casual stuff, I do put in the stories rather than like on the permanent grid. So if you want to keep track of what I'm doing day to day, that's, yeah, a great place to see that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm hoping I will be back sometime. Who knows, if the baby takes a long time to come, I may be back before too long to film again. But if he arrives and we're at home, maybe during my maternity leave, I will be able to film. I know I did get a chance to do that a little bit when Hudson was really little, because they sleep so much and they sleep through everything. So I could have him, you know, sitting next to my chair in his swing or something, and film a podcast. So hopefully that's the case, and I will be back to see you all and talk to you all again very soon. I hope you are having a fabulous summer. Hope you are getting lots of making and lots of crafting done, or anything else that makes you very happy. And yeah, I can't wait to speak to you again. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.